we've delivered a district in an urban setting that is, in my opinion, unlike any other in the country. The community appreciated that, and they rewarded us, if you will, with an overwhelming support for phase one of the bond issue.
When I first heard the amount that we needed, my blood pressure came up a little bit. I am so delighted with what has been done. It's unbelievable, the results that we've gotten.
I think that the parents are showing a pride in Jefferson and in FWCS, realizing, again with thankfulness, that the taxpayers have elected to renovate this school, to add to the neighborhood, and also, you know, to really enrich their kids' learning experiences.
Some of the news that you hear around the country breaks your heart. We never want to see that in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And we think that as a part of this project, we've made our children safer inside our buildings.
The safety element is the first thing I noticed. Everything has been brought up to the standards. It is exquisite in the fact that there is a safety vestibule.
Yeah, there wasn't much protecting anything from the outside elements at Harrison Hill. It needed a total facelift, and that's what we give it. From the roof, like I said, to the windows, to the plaster inside. There was issues with that, falling off the wall. And
you know, I think everyone knows, I think it goes without saying, Irwin is a top-notch school. Great scores, amazing staff, great leadership, routinely a 4-star school, but it really never looked like it. Hasn't looked like it in a long, long time. And so, you know, having to take water to school to make sure they were cool in the summers because there was no air conditioning, I mean, you know, kind of leaves them feeling a bit substandard. So it's been nice. He's been excited.
You can't expect kids to learn in an environment that is physically stressing.
After school activities, when they would have the carnivals, the building would just be so hot. And then you add all those people on top of it, and it made it miserable to be there. So that will change the outlook for people wanting to come and support, to hang out after school, to go to the PTA, to after school activities, and be happy to be there.
And when the teachers and kids return to the classrooms, they're seeing ceiling to floor renovation. The rooms are freshly painted. We have new lighting that's controllable. The old yellow light is leaving our building in place of a really nice white light.
The newer parts of the school are much more modern. Our gym and our cafeteria, just walking into it, it doesn't feel anything like it did my freshman year. Like, it doesn't seem like it's a 50-year-old school. It seems like it could have been built a few years ago. And it kind of motivates the students more. We all have a bit more pride and respect in the school.
If you look at what we've already done, you'll notice that the windows are a little narrower now, the walls are a little better insulated, and we're already seeing the cost savings from those kinds of enhancements. They were on time, they were on budget, and there were no bells and whistles. These were needed repairs.
They have worked smart. They've spent very smart money. There are things that they might have done that would have been more expensive, but they have found ways to save money and still get the same safety, the same results.
I think the kids are really excited and thankful for the changes.
He's proud. He's proud of his school. He's proud to say he goes there, he likes being there, and they don't feel left out, I don't think, anymore.
I think renovating Snyder just as a high school helps the community in the fact that it shows the students that their community is willing to put time and money into their education and showing that they value them as students.
You know, these aren't changes to our buildings that are really very unlike what you might do to your own home. And I think taxpayers, they understand that sometimes it's better to pay something now rather than a lot more later.
People always ask about schools. It's part of the core of our city. And I think it's important. They sometimes drive by the schools, sometimes they'll even visit, but it's really important to them. That's always a question I get. Well, what about the schools?
all the kids are there, all the kids are at the playground. And while we were working at Harrison Hill, there was other homeowners around the area that were working on their homes too. And what we did was brought it back to life. I think it turned out nice.
I think people recognize that having viable public schools really are a support to the neighborhood, and the steps we're making to modernize ultimately help all of us. This is a community school. We often have community groups sharing our campus in our school, and we're going to be able to better serve them as the project wraps up as well.
It's adding back in the form of increased property value. And that's what we see over and over again as the result of phase one of the bond issue. The neighbors are very proud of the schools in their neighborhoods. They're proud of the achievement taking place inside the walls, but they're also proud that a project began and finished with promises kept.
If we don't offer excellent education and comfortable places for children to learn, we might as well hang it up. We're not going to grow. We're not going to see the prosperity that we are all eagerly looking forward to.
I think standing behind the children of our community is a moral imperative from my perspective. We need to educate our kids well so that they can be competitive on a worldwide basis now. I'm very thankful that the voters supported the Repair FWCS referendum, and I would encourage everyone to support what's coming down the road.
There's been a lot of imagination, a lot of good architectural work, an immense amount of creativity put into this. I couldn't be happier. We need to get behind this.
We thank Fort Wayne and we tell them, we're ready to go. Give us an opportunity to finish the job you authorized us to begin.